If someone in position to change your life recommended you tomorrow, I mean, someone senior, someone with a budget, what exactly would they say about you? Not what you wish they'll say, what they would actually say. Write it down now as we begin. You're welcome to Uplift tonight, the mentorship impact session. I want to specially appreciate everyone that has taken out time to be here. What I'd like for you to do right now is to share this with everyone that you know. Is that okay? Get somebody on board because it promises to be a wonderful time. What I'm simply trying to say is this: get somebody to join immediately. Now, there's something I'm realizing with our meetings. Our meetings keep growing, we keep getting better, but there's something that is not happening yet. People are not sharing. You need to share. Get somebody on board because the series I am about to start tonight is a series you don't want to miss. It's going to continue for the next 4 weeks. That's today's the first week. I will be having it for the next 4 weeks. Now, what that means is that you would get somebody on board who would benefit from what we're going to be talking about through the next 4 weeks. It's a series. And the series is simply titled Positioned. Positioned. What does it mean to be positioned? What does it mean to be in the right place at the right time? What does it mean to have the right words at the right time? What does it mean to say the right words in the right circumstances? You're going to learn all of this as we move on tonight. I want to especially appreciate you for taking out the time to be here. As we do a bit of housekeeping, I'd like for us to please, anybody that you know that needs to be here, kindly get them on board. Share now with everybody because I'm about to get us into a place where we would want to be. Is that okay? All right. I think it's about that time for us to move on. Okay. Thank you very much. So I'm considering a series for the next 4 weeks, which I've titled Positioned. And the first module, there are 4 modules, like I said, we're dealing with the first module. Module 1 is positioned to be found. Now, I'm going to be talking about positioned in different dimensions. First of all, personal positioning. Then we'll talk about business career positioning. Is that okay? But personal positioning is what I'll be talking about as we begin this journey. Most people believe opportunity is distributed by merit. I'm sure you're one of such persons. Please let me know in case you get anybody on board and the person wants to join maybe on Zoom or rather on Google Meet. Let me know so that we can admit the person immediately, all right? But we'll move on. Okay, like I was saying, there are many people who have the school of thought that positions or opportunities are distributed by merit. But in my little sojourning on earth, and especially as a consultant, especially in business and career development, in leadership development, and project management, I realized that opportunity is distributed by recognition. Please take note of that. If you're writing, this is a good time for you to write. Opportunities are seldom distributed by merit. They are first distributed by recognition. As a matter of fact, it is recognition that leads to discovery of merit. First of all, you have to be recognized. Someone needs to see you. Someone needs to see that you have what it takes before they let you in. One of the things I always say is this: if you have not gone through the door, you do not have a space in the room. Please write that down. I'll be talking too many things today, and I don't want anybody to lose out of it. If you are on YouTube or you want to join me on YouTube, please join, subscribe, and share. Get somebody on board. It promises to be an amazing time this night. I am so excited at this series. I've taken out the time to prepare myself, to put thoughts together, to put words in the right places, because I believe that this is a life-changing opportunity for someone. The reason why you've not gotten a job, even though you have the required or the requisite certificates, training, skills, close your laptop, and any other thing that you think you have, all right? Now, the challenge is that you have all of these, yet you are not getting a job. Jobs don't just come because you went to school. Jobs will not come to you because you are someone who has certificates, a bunch of them. No. Like I said, and I'll repeat again, it is not your certificate or by merit that opportunities come to people. Opportunities come to people by recognition. I give you a very simple example. I sat down in my house one night. Of course, I fell asleep. And around 1 a.m., I got a call from the United States of America for a project that was going on the next day in Kogi State, Lokoja. I am in Abuja. That's some hundreds of kilometers from here, or about 100 and something kilometer from here. Okay? And something happened. Something happened. I need to admit somebody now, please. Okay. Yes. Now, this is what happened. The moment the person called me, I picked. I don't know why I was awake at that time. Usually 1 o'clock. Okay. Sometimes 1 o'clock I'm awake when I'm working, but usually 3 o'clock I'm awake. But I was surprised. 1 o'clock I was awake. It was 1 a.m. And of course, there in Chicago where the person was still day. Now, look at what happened. When she called me, when she calls me, she goes, please, sir, there is something that is happening in Lokoja tomorrow, and I need 5 people because I've been given 5 slots. I'm like, really? How come it's just happening now? I'm talking about recognition. Take note. 5 people were needed to fill 5 slots for someone who is high ranking. And the person calls his sister that is in the US and said, do you have anybody in Lokoja or in Nigeria, in Abuja, in Nigeria or Abuja that can, benefit from this? And she calls me. By the time I realized where this call was coming from or who her brother was, I realized that it was coming from the very top in government. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that there are other opportunities that people have, but this one was a special opportunity. As a matter of fact, it was a project that the president himself was supposed to come commission, but he had to send the vice president to come do it on his behalf. Guess what happened? In the process of getting people, she had already sent 5 people as her slot, only for her to realize that it's not going to be happening in Abuja, it's happening in Lokoja. Recognition. And then the next thing she calls me in the middle of the night, Nelson, I have this opportunity for 5 people. Can you get them? I said, where? She said, Lokoja. I said, of course, 5 people, you will get them. Okay, they have to be at the venue by 8:30 because the program starts by 10 o'clock. They need to be enrolled into it by 8:30. I'm like, okay, that's not a problem. Okay, now, first of all, I may not have been the most qualified for her to ask or seek help to get her people to fill her slots. But by recognition and by relationship, there's a positioning that makes me her preferred person to call. Do you understand that now? That's number 1. Number 2, when it got to me, I also needed to get some people on board. Now, there are many people in Lokoja, in Kogi State of Nigeria. There are many people in the very venue, close to the very venue where this is happening, who may not even have the access to enter into that place, right? But there's something that happened that makes just 5 people qualified or 5 people chosen. And what was that? Recognition. The moment she calls me, people came to my mind and I had to call them immediately. Like, oh, please, I know it's in the middle of the night. I shouldn't be disturbing your sleep, but there's an opportunity we can't let to go. And I had to report to her. I said, yes, I've gotten someone who will get me the 5 persons. By the time I called 2, 3 persons, I got 1 from here, got 2 from here, got another 2 from here. 5 people were complete and they got the opportunity. Opportunities are not merit-based. They are recognition-based. Please write that down. I've said that before in another format. I'm saying it, I'm repeating it again. Decision makers, right? The decision maker is not choosing the best person available. No, most times you see, I've heard people say this many times. I went for a job interview and I'm supposed to be amongst everybody that was there. Nobody had my credentials. In fact, as a matter of fact, the kind of certificates I came with and all of, please, can you calm down and understand how life works, how opportunities work. Decision makers, they're not choosing the best person available. They are choosing the best person they can think of at that moment. At that very moment, the persons I thought of were the persons that benefited from the 5 slots that came from the presidency. What am I trying to say? It is not going to come to you if you are not known. Many people have gone, through different places. See, there's something I'm working on right now. I wish I could give you, but I can't. I can tell you about it, but I can't right now. That came by virtue of recognition. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't be there. I shouldn't be the one signing that document. I shouldn't be the one talking about this contract, but I had to be the one because someone who knows me, someone who recognizes me and knows what I could do, recommended me. People will think of you at the very moment if you are recognizable. When the need arises at that very moment, it is not about who has the birth certificate. It is not about who has the best skills. It is about who is available and recognizable to the decision maker. Every decision maker goes through what I'm telling you, and I'm stressing it today so that you understand what it means. And please, this is not a cynical, it's not a cynical point. You should don't begin to let the room hear that, I don't want you to begin to hear it as if your merits do not matter and all of that. No, your merit matters, your credentials matter, but when it comes to opportunities, most times, it is not who merits it, it is who is recognized by the person who needs to give out the opportunity. Are we together now? Merit is the ticket. Write this one down. This is my point one. Point one. Merit is the ticket, not the seat. Merit is what? The ticket, it is not the seat. Ticket brings you into a room. What gives you a seat in the room is not your ticket. As a matter of fact, when you get into that room, we now begin to look at other things. Who sits where is by recognition. You can't be on that high table if your name has not been recognized as the person to sit on the high table. You can't enter into a place because we gave you the opportunity to enter into a conference and you go sit on the high table. No, there are people whose names are there. You even come there, you see reserved. Why is that so? Because there are people who have been marked, have been kept to be the ones to sit in that place, and they are there by recognition. There are many things I can go on and on and on and on to tell us about this, right? Now, one of the things I realize is some of you just discovered you don't know. This is not a small thing. What I'm talking about is not a small thing. It is your positioning that matters. Right now, other people are writing it for you. Many people are writing your position for you. And I asked a question early when I started, and the same question I want to, please help me share. There's someone that needs to get on board. I'm creating trouble tonight so that we can continue from here next week. What I want to do tonight is to lay a foundation for what we're going to be doing the next 4 weeks. Please get somebody, share this with somebody. If you're hearing my voice, share this with someone. Someone needs this. Somebody has been struggling to get a job. Somebody has been struggling to, open up his or her business. Someone has been struggling to get people to buy into his idea, buy into her idea. And there are other people who do not have the kind of idea as smart as these people are and are getting the right support, getting the right backing. They are getting the right investors. The problem is not that your idea is not good. The problem is a problem of recognition. It's a problem of positioning. And that's what I want to deal with in the course of the next 4 weeks. So please, I started with my teaching point number 1 is what? Merit is the ticket, not the seat. Your competence qualifies you. If you're listening, please listen to this. Your competence qualifies you to be considered. It does not cause you to be considered. It qualifies you. Now, your competence, because most times what we've done is to emphasize on competence. You need to hone your skills. You need to be good at what you do. Yes, as good as that is, it does not guarantee you a space in the room. It is good. It gives you what it takes, but it doesn't give you access. Access is recognition based. Access is not merit based. So your competence qualifies you to be considered. It does not cause you to be considered. They are two different things. Every opportunity has two gates. Please write this down. Every opportunity has two gates. The first gate is, can this person do it? That is competence. Can he do it? Can she do it? The second gate is, did this person come to mind? So you see, there are two different questions that every decision maker, answers. The question number one is merit. Yes. Can this person do it? Yes, the person can do it. Number two, does this person come to mind? If you can do it and I can't even remember you, I will never give you the opportunity. So opportunities will come to you because you are remembered. And remembrance will come because of your position. So there are two gates. If you cross the first gate, which is competence, build your competence, build on your skills, work on your skills, become the best at what you do. Absolutely very important. I teach that every day. But beyond that, understand how to position yourself. Because that second question is what gives the first question its strength. The gravity of your competence cannot be exercised until you have access to use it. Can we say that again? The gravity of your competence, that competence that you have, the gravity cannot be exercised, cannot be known until you are given the opportunity to exercise it. And that opportunity only comes by position, by recognition. To the person deciding, I wrote this down and I want to write it down. To the person deciding, hidden competence and no competence look exactly the same. Somebody needs to hear that. Please, if you're on YouTube, I'd like you to quickly put in some comment. Let me know those that are here, and please share with someone. Those of us that are on YouTube, please help me share with someone. This is very key, very, very important. I beg you. Don't let anybody miss out on this tonight. Okay, I go on. On Zoom, okay, no, yes, Google Meet, please, let's keep it going. Thank you very much. All right. So I said to the person that is deciding, hidden competence and no competence look exactly alike. What that means is that whether you have the competence or you do not have the competence, it does not make any difference to a decision maker as long as the decision maker does not know you. So it is when the decision maker knows you, then he now asks whether you can do. Your ability to do is predicated on your recognition. So until we know who you are, we can't tell what you can do. All right? Teaching point 2. If you're writing, please, this is my point 2. Positioning is what is said about you when you are absent. When I'm talking about positioning, you're thinking maybe you should go and put yourself on the road, put yourself on the billboard. No, it's beyond that. I have seen people who have printed billboards and whatever it is they are doing keeps depleting. People don't come. Not because people don't want to come to a place like that, but because, you see, recognition is not a product of how you put yourself out in the public. It's beyond that. It first of all has to do with what people think about you, what they say about you when you are absent. There are many of us that when people begin to talk about us, there's one thing, there's a delusion. There's a delusion that I've seen, especially among leaders, especially positional leaders, because they made you the head in a particular place. You are now the Lord of all. You control people. You are, you are so powerful now. You are the one that determines what they do. Lord Almighty. Good. As good as that is, don't forget, people are talking about you. The things they say about you is what gives you positioning. It is not how you present yourself. It is what people say. And people always say what they've tasted. People always say what they've seen. People will always say the things that they've seen, they've heard from you, they've tasted of you, what your character is, what your personality tells them. Those are the things they say when you are not there. As a matter of fact, your positioning is what is said about you when you are absent. When you are not in that place and decisions need to be made, what are people saying about you? That is what changes everything. Positioning. Your position is not your self-description. No. It is the sentence that other people carry about you. So when we say positioning, when we say positioning, we're not really talking about you putting yourself in a light. It's not how you describe yourself, it's what people say about you, it's your description in the lips of others. That's what positioning is. The reason why they won't buy from you is not because you do not have good products, it's because someone has told them something that is not good about you. Some other times, it is because you have shown someone a character that is not good and the person has run with it. So where you are not, the person is speaking. And what the person is speaking is affecting what is happening to you. Positioning is everything. You do not control your position directly. Let me say that again. You do not control your position directly. What happens is that you control the inputs. And I want you to take note of that. So it is not about what I want people to know about me. So I want to frame it in a particular way so that when they hear me speak or when they see my profile, people have seen your profile, yet they are not inviting you. Have you not noticed? The other person that you tend to look down on, the other person that you feel does not have what you have, is being invited on stages, on platforms that you are not invited on. It is not by profile. It is not by how powerful you are or the position they've given to you to hold. No. It is about the inputs that led to what people are now saying about you. So what you need to be concerned about are the inputs, what you consistently do, what you consistently say, what people see you consistently doing, and how easy it is for you for someone to summarize you. That is what makes your positioning powerful or not. So your positioning, like I said earlier, positioning is not what is said, it's not what you say about yourself or what you describe yourself out. It is what people say about you. That's positioning. What is the description that people have about you? And don't forget, it's determined by your inputs. What are your inputs? How do you react? How do you act? What's your character? Are you the kind of person that they tell you something and you go and broadcast it? Are you the kind of person that they say something to you at the moment you hear it, every other person has heard it? Or because you now have a position, you use that position to subject others and subdue them? They give you an opportunity, you now become a lord. You see, there are many things that many of us have cheated ourselves on because the inputs we brought into what we call our leadership position or what we call our existential position have created for us bad image before people. So there's no positioning. Tonight is going to be very serious. Please, like I say, I'll always get us to the point where you would ask questions. All right? See, what you say is not as beautiful. Your vision statement, your mission statement, your profile statement is not as important as the summary that somebody gives about you. I think I usually give this example, how that there was a time that a man, right, who didn't even know, they just called him one day and said, sir, where are you? You are needed at the villa, the presidential villa. He didn't know who, he didn't know how, he just found himself there, right? Now, this is what we're saying. At that moment, a decision needed to be made, A decision needed to be made, and the decision maker happened to be in the presence of trusted people. And he said, they were talking about a particular thing. And they said, okay, this particular thing that we need to be done, we need someone who has the capacity to do it. And in the process of, getting someone who has the capacity to do it, right? What did they do? They decided that someone should recommend. And while they were there, somebody that was there simply said, I know somebody. He's not in Abuja, in so place, but he has this thing we said now. He has all the relevant criteria and the capacity to handle it. And the president said, call for him. And that's how he was called from wherever he was. He didn't even know what was happening. The next day, he he flew into Abuja. They took him straight to the villa and they said, are you so person? Okay, I've heard a lot about you. You see, have you heard people use words like, he came highly recommended? Have you ever heard that before? Have you ever heard people say that before? Please help me answer. If you heard people say that before, let me know. They say this person came highly recommended. Sometimes they will even see you, they say, sir, you came highly recommended. Not everybody who can do that thing that you are doing was recommended, but somebody that they trust mentioned your name where it matters, and that is why they called you. That's positioning. What is the summary that people will say about you? I give you an example. One of my brothers, my friend, who is watching us right now as I speak. He's on Facebook. I don't want to call his name. Happened to be in a meeting somewhere where we all were, just one day, just one opportunity, just one conference or one meeting, and he happened to be there. And the person that was on stage began to say things. And by the time I met him some months later, and we're talking, I said, jokingly, he was talking, and he got to the point like, wow. So wait, that your man? I'm like, who is my man? And he mentioned what happened that period. I'm like, wow, how that's just on the stage while the person was there talking. The person said things that he should not have said. Like, we usually say in Nigeria, he misyanned, meaning he didn't say what he should say, right? If you're watching from other parts of Africa and the world, when you hear yarn means to talk, to rapport. Misyan means to talk out of point or to say things that are inappropriate, all right? So he said things that were inappropriate, and this guy caught it, and he never forgot it until we met months later, and he was reminding me of what this person said while on stage. It's that serious. So you can imagine tomorrow, if there's an opportunity, that negative thing that he caught will be his description of the man. That's why we talk about your input. What do you say? How do you live your life? How do you rate people? How do you relate with people? What kind of character do you have? Do people see you as a relatable person? Are you easily, are you easily there are people that just meander from one place. Those firm stand. All of these things are things that people will use to measure you and to describe you. Don't forget, we're talking about your description. What would people describe you as? I wish I could draw. There's something I need to put on the screen. Next time I have my my A3 papers here on the board, but I don't have the markers with me. I'd have drawn something and maybe make a big screen. I also have a very big screen here that I can use. Maybe next time I'll do that so that I can have a more focused. No, I can't do that now because I can't begin to turn the camera. I'd have done that so that you see what I want to do, right? He's an engineer, very hardworking, two different persons now, all right? That there's a contrast you want to draw. He's an engineer, very hardworking, does a lot of things. That's not what we need. He's the HSE man. If it's safety compliance, then it's him. That's usable, right? Why? This is description of two different people. Number one says he's an engineer. The other one says he's the HSE man, right? Very hardworking, does a lot of things. That's the first person. The second person says, no, if it's safety compliance, that's him. You know what that means? A description that underlines the person's merit, that underlines the person's capacity and competence. That is the person that will be chosen. Both of them are engineers, but their descriptions are not the same. Now, you see, one of the things I have come to realize, right, is that if they cannot repeat you in one line, they cannot recommend you at all. Let me say that again. If people cannot repeat you by explaining, to repeat somebody means to say who the person is, right? In one line, they cannot recommend you at all. And that brings me to my third point. The 3 routes to being found. There are 3 routes to being found. If you must be found, there are 3 ways, 3 routes, 3 paths to being found. Please, if you're writing, I told you tonight, write down, jot something. I beg you. I know you used to listen to these things as if we are doing what do you call it now? It's what we're just trying to entertain you or motivate you. No, write these things down. You need them. It can be on your notepad. Write something down, please. I beg you. All right. If they cannot repeat you in one line, they cannot recommend you at all. Whoever will be recommended at the end of the day is someone that can be repeated, meaning they'll call your name. They call your name again in one line. As is your name that is being mentioned, there's something that is happening. Number one, they are remembering you. Number two, they understand your capacity. Number three, they know that you are needed in that place. So they keep repeating your name. They keep calling your name. If you can't be repeated in a good line, not in a bad line. When they repeat you in a bad line, it means you are that kind of person they shouldn't work with. When people can repeat you, they can repeat what you do in a line when they are talking, then you are the person that they need. The reason why they will come to your fashion house, the reason why they will come is because when they were talking about you to the other people, when they were recommending you, I think I've said this before, right? I've talked about reputation, I've talked about reputation, recommendation, and referrals. Write these three things down, right? Reputation, recommendations, referrals. Right? Please write these 3 R's down. Reputation, recommendation, referrals. Reputation, recommendation, referral. Now, I will come to these, keep them somewhere. I'll come to these later, but let's go ahead. I'm talking about recognition now. Now, you see, my third point is there are 3 routes to being found. For people to find you, they must either find you by proximity, by memory, or by proof. If you're writing down, please write these 3 routes down. Number one is what? Proximity. If people will find you, they must find you through either proximity or memory or proof. Proximity, you are close. What's the name? Memory, they remember. Proof, they can justify why it is you. These are the 3 routes. Please, I beg you in the name of God, share this with somebody. Whatever you need to do, get somebody on board. If you're not on my YouTube, go to my YouTube channel and get somebody on board. All right? See, get somebody to join. Get somebody to join so that the person can benefit from this. Or share the link with someone that can watch it later. If you're not on my YouTube, you can get somebody to join on YouTube or get the YouTube link and send to the person. Very important. Please. I've seen many people that have struggled to get themselves together, struggle to, to get opportunities. And the challenge is what I'm talking about. Positioning. All right. So there are 3 routes. There are 3 ways through which people will find you. Number 1 is proximity. Number 2 is memory. And number 3 is proof. Proximity has to do with closeness, distance. We are close. We are close to each other. So you are close to me. I can easily call on you. You always speak when I call. All right. You are close. You are close does not mean the proximity may not even be in physical distance. It could be that you are easy for me to call. When I call, I know you will pick, you will answer. We've spoken not long ago. There is some level of, closeness I feel. Number 2, memory. Let me finish number 1. There is a question that proximity answers. Do the right people know you exist? That's a question. And I want you to ask that question. Ask yourself that question. Do the right people know that you exist? I'm a fashion designer. I am beautiful. I can do all of this. Do the right people know that you exist? I'm an engineer. I'm a project manager. I know how to, in fact, when it comes to accounting, when it comes to credit analysis, I am an expert. How many right people know you? You see, rooms you enter, associations you join, relationships you maintain, proximity, that's proximity. My wife taught me something I will never forget in my life. My wife taught me to get people's numbers. My wife taught me to always connect with people. You see, I was a very shy person. Many people don't know. I used to be very shy. I don't know if I'm still shy, but I can be very shy. Now, something happened. Everywhere I go, when I meet people, there's always this, I meet them, but I don't know how to ask. Can I get your contact or can we keep talking and those kind of stuff? No. But guess what's been happening? For the whole of July and August, in fact, I started from somewhere in June. almost every weekend, I had a speaking engagement. Every weekend I had a speaking engagement. Many of the speaking engagement did not come because I was the best speaker. They came because somebody remembers me. Memory was there. Number two, they came because there was proximity. There's someone that I was in a relationship with who knows my capacity and has been in touch, or I have been in touch with. What are the rooms you enter? Who are the people you meet? What are the associations you join? Some of you, when they tell you join your old school association, you feel they are wasting your time. No, they are not. It's an opportunity for you to connect. There's somebody in that room that knows somebody that needs what you have. But because you don't go there, you don't relate with them, you feel that it's a waste of time. You know, there's this thing we have in our mind. We think that there are certain associations that are just waste of time. Unknown to you, these are the places where people get connect from. I went for my reunion the other time in Benin City. It wasn't too convenient, but I had to go. Why? I needed to network. I needed to meet with people. Number two, memory. When a need arises, do they think of you? And I want to ask you, what makes people to think of you? What makes people think of you? What makes people think of you? When they remember you, what do they remember about you? All right? So when the need arises, who remembers you? And remembering you comes through consistency, clear lane, showing up more than once. That's consistency. Let me explain what consistency means. Every Wednesday, when you come on Wednesday to Facebook Live, you will see Nelson. It is called consistency. It is not convenient, but I keep showing up. Why? Because, see, somebody needs to remember you for something. Tomorrow, when somebody we need someone to talk about career, about business and all of that. Oh, there's one guy, he's on Facebook. And they will send my link to them and they will watch. So, oh, wow, we like this guy. And they will reach out to me. That is how it works. Memory. People remember you because you are always in their faces. And being in their faces does not mean to be a nuisance to them. It means you are constantly offering value every time you appear before them. Many of us, you don't offer value. So nobody is thinking about you. Or if they even think about you, most times what do they just think about you from the light of a noisemaker, a nuisance creator, or a problem. People don't remember you because you solve a problem. People don't remember you because you have value. People need to remember you for the right reasons. Memory, that's the second route. Route number three, proof. Can they justify choosing you? That's the question that proof answers. If we choose this guy as the person who should do this job, can they justify it? And what brings justification? Track record. My videos are on YouTube. My videos are on Facebook. My videos are on TikTok. That is track record. There's something that people can refer to. Track record simply means you've been able to build something over time that they can call out and remember. It's proof that you exist. It's proof that you are able. It's proof that you are competent. It is there. If it is not there, people will never call you to the table. Work samples. What are your work samples? Referrals. I talked about referrals, right? How many people are referring you? How many people are telling people about you, recommending you? Credentials. What are your credentials? Your proof that you've done this before, right? Have you noticed that when it comes to, doing government contracts, when you are writing your proposal and all of that, they would always ask you, in part of the criteria, if it's a tender, they will tell you to show maybe 3, right? Similar jobs that you've done. There's a reason why they do that. Because they know that you can't just come from nowhere and have something. There's somewhere you're coming from. That thing that you're coming from, we want to know, is it similar to what we want to offer you? The proof that you have the ability to do it is that you have done it before, or you have done something similar before. All right? I want you to score yourselves, please. I like doing a lot of this. Many times, I like my classes to be practical so that you can have something that reminds you, that stimulates your memory after now. Please, this is my question to you. All right. you will score yourself 1 to 5 on each route. Route number 1 or route number 1 is what? If you can remember, what did I say it is? Proximity. Number 2 is what? Memory. Number 3 is what? Proof. Proximity, memory, proof. Now, rate yourself between 1 to 5 on each route. I know, I wish this was a class. I'd have given out microphones for everybody to talk. You realize that number 1, proximity is usually the strongest, yeah? Memory is usually the weakest. You know why? Many of us are not remembered. Even you yourself, you don't remember many people. It's just what it is. You are not short of contacts. You are short of sentence. Do you understand that? You are not short of contacts. Your contacts are not a problem. You're short of sentence. What that means is that the sentences that are made about you, they are very few because there is nothing that you are bringing to the table. There is no value that is consistently being made by you. All right? As I begin to round up, whew, there's a lot to do. Okay, let me do this way. I have these questions that I want to share with us, and I want you to answer them genuinely and honestly. Number 1, question number 1, please, if you're writing, this is one you should write down. Write this one down. I want to be sure you're writing. I wish I could see us. You know, sometimes these live videos can be fun. But let's write this one down. Number 1, think of someone who got an opportunity you believed you were more qualified for. Maybe when you were looking for a job or something, I want you to take note of someone who got an opportunity you believed you were more qualified for. And I remember one myself, as I'm talking to you, I remember there's a job I was supposed to get, right, at British Council back then, some years ago, and somebody got it. I can't lie to you, the person, if I look at the person, I'm not joking, if I sit down and the person sits down, there is no reason why you will pick that person over me. If I speak and the person speaks, there's no reason why you should pick the person over me. If we write and the person, we got to the final stage, just the two of us, we got to the final stage of the interviews, of the recruitment process, was just between me and him. Somebody needed to be chosen. And sincerely, I still feel till tomorrow, I still know, not even feel. In fact, from the people that I met later and all of that, I realized that they didn't choose him because he was better than me. No, not because he was better than me. So think of someone who got an opportunity that you believe you were more qualified for. Without naming them, what did they have that you didn't have? I like you to take note of that, because I know my own. What did they have that you didn't have? That's the question. I need you to answer that question. Question number two. When last did someone recommend you without you asking? Like you didn't ask, you didn't do anything, they recommended you. I know the last one. In fact, 2 weeks ago, it still happened. Without me asking, in fact, what am I saying? All these speaking engagements I've had, and I've had back to back, right? Like 8 weeks at a stretch. Every weekend I had a speaking engagement. All of them, there was none that I asked anybody for. There was none that I lobbied for. There was none I wrote to anybody for. Every single one came to me by recommendation that I did not ask for. Every single one of them. So my question to you, when last did someone recommend you without you asking? Number 3, what do people think you do? What do people think you do? Is it what you actually do? This thing that you say, people, what do people think you do? And is it what people, or is it what you actually do? Because sometimes people will be running with a wrong narrative of you. Okay? When it comes to your ability, when it comes to the things you do, they may think of you, maybe you've done something in a particular, and they say, this is who he is, or this is what he does. What do people think of you? What do people think that you do? And is it actually what you do? If it's not, then there's a discrepancy. There's a need to close that gap. What people say you do or what people think you do must match what you actually do. If it doesn't match, it means you are projected to the people what is not exactly what you do. Number 4, This is the fourth question I have for tonight. Is there a difference between positioning yourself and promoting yourself? Where is the line? I wish you can answer me because tonight there's a lot to do. I wish I could go over this module 1 and I'm not done yet. All right. Okay. This is what I call the recommendation sentence. If you are doing this, I'd like you to do this with me. I'd like you to do this with me. Everyone, you write one sentence in this exact format. Look at it. Dash is the person for dash, meaning you put the name of the person. Nelson is the person for public speaking. I'm just giving an example. I want you to write it down in your notes. Please write it down. Or if you want to write yourself, you can write your name, okay? But I just want to show what we call a recommendation sentence. It's a live exercise that everybody's supposed to do. Those of us on Google Meet, kindly put it. I want you to put it on the comment box. I want to see it on the chat box. I want to see it on the chat box. Please do this. Do this, please. It's very important. It makes me know that you're following me. Put the person's name. You say dash, this person's name, Nelson. If you're using Nelson, Nelson is the person for dash. I don't know what it is, but write the person is. He or she has done dash. Because you are now qualifying, we're making a recommendation sentence. Is that okay? So Nelson is the person for dash. He or she has done dash, and you can trust them with dash. Please help me write it. If you're writing on Facebook, I'd like to see it. Write the person's name. It may be a fictional name if you don't want to call someone's name, but I just want us to learn what we call the recommendation sentence, right? For instance, I can say, who now? Jidena is the person for what now? What should I put there? Jidena is the person for what? For marketing. She has done so and so, maybe marketing of wallpapers and other stuff. You can trust them with this marketing process. I'm just giving an example, but I want you to write down your recommendation sentence. The name of the person, and you say dash is the person for dash. He or she has done dash, and you can trust them with dash. Now, don't use adjectives without evidence. That's the rule. If you're using adjectives, please put evidence there. Let there be evidence. That's why we're saying recommendation must come with evidence. It's not just okay to say so person is the man for the job. No, you need to qualify that with an adjective. Maybe words like he's hardworking, he's God-fearing, he's dedicated, he's passionate, he's a person of integrity, he's honest. You must describe why. All right. Okay, I wish I could have 3 persons do this for me. Let me see. Is anybody doing it? Is anybody doing it in Is anybody doing it on Google Meet? Do it. On Google Meet, anybody? Nobody's typing on Google Meet? Oh, beautiful. I love this. Thank you so very much for doing this. Sabina is the person for public speaking. I love that. She has handled various public functions in official capacity and personal engagements. She is passionate about speaking and very good at it. Beautiful. Thank you so very much, Jay. This is what I'm talking. That's how recommendations are done. So you don't recommend someone without putting in the adjectives that qualify them. Thank you so much. I believe that a lot. And thank you for bringing that out. Any other person wants to try? Any other person wants to try? All right, I'm about bringing the session to a close. But before we go, I just want to mention a few things. When my name comes up, what do you think I do? And I want you to ask yourself that question. I am asking you. You may want to ask somebody. Some of us, we may want to ask if one person or 2 persons in your office, in your organization, around. Okay, I think I did this some time ago. Some weeks ago, I sent out a question to 3 of my team members, close ones. Ruth was one of them, Sophia was one of them, and Michael was one of them, Mike Sule. Now, the three of them, I sent them the same question. I said, what comes to your mind when you think about me? I said, when my name comes up, what do you think about me? What do I do? And I was amazed. I was amazed at the things that they wrote about me. Well, shocked in a positive light, because it showed that what I was doing was having impact. The things are, and it was not out of line. Every one of them were very correct as they talked about what they thought of me. And the question was, what comes to your mind when you think about me? Who do you think I am? And they began to speak. In fact, it got to a point in the life of Jesus Christ, if you remember, that he even had to ask his disciples that question: who do men say I am? You. Okay, after they told him all that the men said, he said, okay, what about you? Who do you say I am? So ask yourself this question: when my name comes up, what do you think? Or ask someone rather. This is not a question for you to answer. It's a question for someone to answer. Now, this helps you understand positioning. The reason why I brought up these questions is so that when you go about finding out how to position yourself, you'll know exactly where the problem is. Ask people this question: when you come, when my name comes up, what do you think I do? And maybe I should even ask it. Those of us on Google Meet, those of us on Facebook, on YouTube, please answer me now, me as Nelson, all right? Answer me as Nelson. I want to know, when my name comes up, or you hear my name, what exactly do you think I do? What do you think? Who do you think I am? What do you think I do? I'll be very glad. If you have my personal contact, you want to DM me, that's fine. But you can still put it out there. Let everybody see it, all right? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to let people see that. Is that okay? Okay, so before we bring this to a close, I want you to write your answer word for word. Just write your answer word for word. I'm talking about me now. When my name comes up, what do you think I do? You hear Nelson Ogohi. What do you think I do? Favor, I see you on Facebook. Write something, let me hear. I want to know what you think I do. Mrs. Idoko, thank you so much. Ruth, I see you. Jay, I see you. On Google Meet, I'm seeing Moses, right? I see Moses. I see, who else again am I seeing? Stephen, I see Stephen, all right? So please, let me know. When my name comes up, what do you think I do? I like to know. I really, really like to know. Please, let me know. Maybe, maybe I have a positioning or not, all right? So you write it down and let me know. Okay. You will bring all these answers, that the questions I asked you earlier, the 4 questions I asked earlier. By next week, I will want answers to them, because I'll be asking those questions when we begin, all right? So next Wednesday, we will deal with what you found, all right? So you've asked someone your question, maybe in your office, at home. Ask your husband, ask your wife, ask your colleague in the office, just ask somebody that question. When my name comes up, what do you think I do? That's where we'll start from next week, okay? So we'll look at the three people who will first send me their answers. We'll use their answers to begin next week's session, and that is a real problem. You are not unknown. In case you think you're known, you are not unknown. You are just unclear. Do you get that? You are not unknown. Next week, Wednesday, we will deal with what you found. Because for most of you, those 3 people will give you 3 different answers. I'm telling you the truth. 3 people, 3 different answers. And the funny thing is that the 3 people I asked this question, that was some weeks ago. I can't remember how many weeks ago now. That was last month, I guess. I asked Ruth Jimbeba, I asked Sophia Okasi, and I asked Michael Sule. And 3 of them, they gave me similar, in fact, they blew my mind. Some of the things they even wrote, I'm like, wow, is this me? Right? But it was clear. That means there's clarity about my description and my position. So for some of us, like I said, most of you, those 3 people you are going to ask these questions will give 3 different answers. And that is a real problem, because you are not unknown. The problem is not that you are not unknown or that you are not unknown. No. The problem is that you are unclear. We're not clear about where you stand. We're not clear about who you are. We're not clear about what you are doing. Before next week, we'll answer that question, because which is next week, we'll be dealing with what I call clarity before visibility. Many times it's not your visibility, it's not how you're in the faces of people, it's how people are clear. you have to be clear about who you are, what you do, so that people can also be clear about what you do. So when you appear and you are visible, there is no doubt where you belong. Thank you very much for taking out the time to be here. I give the remaining 5 minutes for questions. Anybody has any questions to ask, this is the time to ask me your questions before we bring the session to a close. Anybody, please. Don't forget the 3 things I told you, the route: proximity, memory, and proof. Proximity, memory, and proof. Okay? Yes, please. Before I bring the session to a close, anybody, please. Questions on Facebook? Questions on YouTube? Questions? Thank you very much, sir. It says when your name comes up, I think coaching, mentorship, and teaching. Thank you so very much. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't get it wrong. Yeah? Okay. Anybody? Anybody? Questions? If you don't have questions, I think we'll bring the session to a close almost immediately. Maybe I'll just give you a minute to see. Oh, wow. I love this. Say when your name comes up, I see mentorship, business, spiritual influence. Amazing. Amazing. And they all work together, actually. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you, Moses. Thank you for that. Okay, any other person there? Questions? Anything you want to ask me? This is the right time before I bring this session to a close. I want to appreciate my dad all the way from the United Kingdom. Thank you so much, Dad. Thanks for always supporting. Prof. Wow, my brother and friend Daniel is online. Thank you very much, my brother and friend Adigbe. Thank you so very much, my beautiful wife. Thank you for your support, always being there. Appreciate you. Ruthie, God bless you. Favor, appreciate you very, very, very much. There are many other people that joined that I can't see now. But please, in case I didn't mention your name, it's in no way intentional. I'm just not able to see many of the names there. But the ones that I've seen, I'm able to show. Danny Pikema, thank you very much for being there. Who else again? Who else is there now that I can mention? Who? Okay, every other person, I appreciate you. Yes, Mrs. Idoko, thank you so very much for taking out the time to be here. I appreciate you all. So, since there are no questions, we'll bring the session to a close. We'll continue next week. Don't forget, we're looking at clarity over visibility. It's not just for you to be visible, right? It's first of all to know, as a matter of fact, to be clear about who you are. Clarity before visibility. Have a wonderful night. See you next week, and we will take this to another level. Bye for now.